It's the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast.
Hello, this is episode 154 of the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm Michael Ball. I'm joined once again by the demigod of knowledge, information, and he knows things that nobody else knows about. And he also knows that...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he also knows that YouTube can be a platform which can have its problems, but we're not going to talk about YouTube. We are on YouTube, but we're talking about a great classic movie. But before we could talk about that movie, it is Martin Fowler. Hello, Martin.
Hello, and how are you, my friend? I hope you're well.
I'm all right. Yes, we're sort of like enjoying the rest of the summer. It's we're sort of recording this on a Tuesday lunchtime, early afternoon. My internet's playing up a bit, but hopefully we'll be able to talk about some things. We haven't got a lot of news, but we will be focusing on a classic movie from 1958 starring Steve McQueen. Martin has said that he's actually saw the remake recently in '88, but it's the same movie. We're going to talk about the original one. I mentioned bits of the newer one as well. It's a great movie, and it's definitely something which is a great, unique idea. But before that, what have you been up to since we last spoke last week? Anything to report to the subscribers, the people, the followers, the listeners, whatever?
I went to Freddie Mercury X. I went to Sotheby's last week.
Oh, okay. How did that go?
Well, I got Freddie Mercury's furniture.
Did you? What did you sit on?
Well, there was, you couldn't sit on it. They were selling it all.
Oh,
They were selling all his belongings. Sotheby's auction house.
Okay.
They were exhibiting all his stuff, so I went to see all his things.
Right.
What he owns.
Okay.
I didn't realise how small he was.
Was he? I don't know what he was. How tall was he?
Very small, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. I saw his clothes, I thought, bloody hell, I didn't. You thought he seemed so much bigger, but he wasn't.
It was like somewhere I went to a Star Trek museum or exhibition, and it had Marina Sirtis's uniform. And she's tiny. Yeah. She's really small.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
And you don't realise... I mean, she does look quite petite, but, when you see the actual uniforms in real life, it really does look different from seeing things on the screen kind of thing. So, but I assume you didn't buy anything.
Well, they had, well, obviously not, but they had starting price. I think the auction's next month.
Okay.
But I saw the starting price for his moustache combing, his moustache comb,
okay.
£1,000. It were only
£1,000.
It were only about that big. It was like, apparently, yeah.
You look like you're cleaning your teeth with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like Queen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just bear with us today. The internet's playing up a bit, but that's all right. I think Martin's back now. You back there?
We're going to air show. Just through.
Yeah, I know. It's frozen. Give me a second. It should clear in a second. Internet is playing up again. There we are. I can see you again now. You right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Was going to go to the air show at Eastbourne, but didn't get round to going. So no, been a quiet week. I was out yesterday, and that's it really. What am I doing this week? I'm out over the bank holiday. Are you doing anything?
We might go away for a day at some point, but at the moment, the weather is so dodgy that we're not committing to ourselves to anything. We might have a barbecue tomorrow, but at the moment we've decided that because this August weather in the UK has been shite. It has been really, really shit. Compared to most, it's always a bit touch and go, but normally it's like the bank holiday, which is the washout, but it's been crap. So, but we are looking forward to Ahsoka starting this week. So how do you feel about that? Are you looking forward to seeing that?
Yes, no, I am. Yeah, 2 episodes apparently.
2 episodes, and apparently they're quite long as well.
Are they?
Yeah, the first episode's 45 minutes long, the other one's about similar time. So I think episode 3 shorter, but they said that for both episodes together, it's an hour and 36 minutes, which is not bad.
It's like a pilot movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm up for it. Well, apparently,
I saw Eckhart's Ladder, YouTuber.
oh yeah,
It's Star Wars. He's like Stupendous Worth.
right.
He's seen it. He said he could only say so much about it, but he said it's very good. He saw some of it as a test audience, and he said it's very enjoyable.
It looks good. It looks more like Star Wars than, say, the Andor series is.
Well, if it appears across my screen when I get up tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, what's this? By magic.
So, are you hoping that Paul Daniels pays you another visit? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So you're the Debbie to the internet's Paul Daniels. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I could be saying that, yes.
It's magic. Yeah, it should be interesting. That'd be good. Apart from that, there's nothing else I'm really watching much. I'm watching Foundation. That's still going. I've watched the first few of that. It's quite good.
How many episodes now?
They've released 6 now, and I've seen 4. So I've still got to catch up with 2, and then I'm up to date with the one. It's only a season of 10, so it's going by very fast. But yeah, it's good. It's quite a complex series. You can't just, you have to sit down and really focus on it with all the different aspects of
That's why I'd rather binge watch it.
Yeah, I can actually understand that. Yeah, I like to watch stuff weekly because I can't wait, but this is definitely a series where you want to sit down all afternoon and watch the whole lot.
There's 2 ways of watching it. Either watch the first half of it as a block.
Yeah, which they often do.
And then 5 weeks later watch the second half. Because you get in the face. I can't watch that weekly.
I find it quite tough going. Not that I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's just a lot going on. It's quite hard to keep up with everything.
I mean, last series. Don't get me wrong. I sort of enjoyed last series, but I did find a lot of it up its own ass.
Did you?
There were moments, like in the middle of it, really dragged.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And then from episode 7, it sort of started moving again. Do you know what I mean? But I did enjoy it. I did it, but it was hard work to get him through it.
Right.
So, but yeah, obviously, Foundation. So I've been told it's a lot more action-packed, this one.
Yeah, it's got quite a lot of action.
Right.
It's but like I said, I've only seen the first 4, but it's when you ask me how it's gone, I like it, but I can't. I don't know why, but a lot of it seems to rush over me. It's really hard to explain.
Yeah, first season did that to me as well.
You know what I mean? And it's weird because I do like it, but it's very hard to say. Oh, this. I like it. All I know is it's good.
What you say, it's like to a certain bit of it and remember it. There's nothing in there that moment. It's not like Strange New World with singing Klingons, is it? No. There's nothing. I remember bits of it, but a lot of it did. I was in and out with it. There were a couple of episodes that just, I was like, when we're gonna get to the next one? And then I think it was 8, 9, and 10. It sort of got better for me. It started moving again. Because I found that family absolutely boring.
Oh, actually, I find it quite interesting. What you mean, the dawn, day and dusk? You mean?
That's it. Yeah.
I actually found them pretty interesting. Sorry, I'm frozen up.
Okay. Fair enough.
Say that bit last again. You liked it, or you didn't like them?
No, I found it funny when you saw the original clones all trapped in that plastic stuff.
Yeah,
The faces are all squashed against it. You know what again? I found that quite funny. I remember the one that malfunctioned and they terminated him. I remember that episode of the last series. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That's when I found it. But after that, it started dragging.
Yeah, well, like I said...
And then he did that pilgrimage, which sort of were interesting.
Yeah. But it is quite a clever idea that there's sort of like this character can see the future, and it's called the Foundation, and it's splitting off to a bad future, It's quite clever. It's well worth
season
watching.
3 is going to be the one that's if they go into the season 3, that's all this is going to pay off. Every bit of it, trust me, it's going to pay off in season 3 because the mutants on its way. You know, in the Great Plan, there's the X Factor, the one thing that can unravel everything.
Yeah.
That's on its way.
So are they making a
So
season?
that's on.
Are they making a season 3?
So. Well, they put enough money into it. While we're on this, the series I have watched. I'm not bothered about seeing it. It's on Apple. Have you heard of something called Invasion?
Martin, I saw an advert for season 2 today, and I thought about asking you about it. I'd not seen it, but I'm actually quite interested in it. Apparently, this first season's a bit slow, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've only.
There's a channel called Movies and TV Recaps. What it's like, they take a film or a series and they put clips together and then they tell you what happens in like 15 minutes. They give you the full story. That's how I know what's going on in it. But from what it's a long slog.
Yeah.
The aliens are very interesting.
Is it something you think we should check out at some point?
I don't know. I'll leave that to you.
I might give it a watch.
It's going to be like a foundation. It's going to be very long.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're up for it, I'll give it a go. But
all right.
It's, there's something called Silo, which I'm more interested in.
I've not heard of Silo.
The ratings for that are through the roof. Everybody's. It's about these people that live in a bunker and things out, right?
Right. Okay.
You know, so it's one. It's on Apple. Apple are doing quite.
I
well,
know they are. I know. They did.
Sci-Fi.
They've got that weird 50s retro show, which is set in the future.
Yeah, I've seen trailer of that.
I've seen the whole thing. It was a bit odd. It was a bit strange.
Was that like that thing we started to watch with you, Laurie? Is it like that sort of? That was
more. No, it wasn't a broad. That was more of a comedy. This is more of a drama, where.
Oh, okay.
It has some comedy in it, but it's Avenue 5 was more of a straightforward sci-fi comedy. This is more of a sci-fi fantasy drama, which is set in an alternate future.
In a retro 50s
in a retro
future.
Where basically it's about a group of estate agents trying to sell apartments on the moon, but it's all very dodgy. It's very strange. It's a really strange show.
Okay. All right.
And it's got Alison Pill in it from Star Trek Picard season 1 and 2. She's in it. I don't know. It's one of those series where I'm glad I saw it, but I don't really know what to put it in a category. Yeah, it was a very old show. But it had good visuals.
But that's good though, isn't it? I mean, maybe if you don't like it or not. The thing is, it's at least we are trying to get back to experimenting with new concepts now.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I mean, if you got the time, it's only 10 episodes, I think. It's check it out. It's odd. It's odd. It's really strange.
You see, when they did Space Force, the trailer really impressed
Space
me.
Force was shite.
The trailer I thought were amazing. I thought it was really fun. I thought this is going to be good, this. Yeah. And then when I started watching it, I was bored shitless.
Yeah, me too.
There were moments where I did sort of laugh, but when they were trying to be funny, it wasn't working, like his wife in prison.
It's Steve Carell, wasn't it? Was that the one with Steve Carell?
Yeah. And it just, I stuck with it till second season.
I gave up halfway through the first season. I couldn't get on with it.
You know, and I thought, this is terrible. The trailer was very good for it, though. It drew me in. So I thought this is going to be quite exciting. And, but at least they are trying out. Because I'm just fed up with fucking remakes all the time now.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you heard about all the Disney stuff? Apparently, the actress that's playing Snow White. Oh God, what a nasty piece of work she's turning out to be. She's like slagging on Snow White. She's a real horrible, nasty brat of a woman. I mean, she's very attractive, but I mean, apart from...
Well, that picture that got leaked of them told one, that one, that up to?
Hang on, you're breaking up again. Give me a second.
You know, the photograph.
Did you see that? You broke up when you said that, but did you see the dwarfs?
Yeah, well, that were meant to be set up by a fan to get a load of people carrying on over it.
Oh, well, it looks awful.
Because I saw that and I thought, and then I found out later on somebody put it up to wind people up.
Oh, well, I thought it was genuine. I think it is.
Oh, well, it might be.
I think it's genuine.
Right, well, I hope not.
No,
I saw Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
Oh, that was obviously Willy Wonka we're talking about, aren't we?
Yeah. Hugh Grant as a Willy.
That looks.
As
I mean, all these remakes: Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Snow White, Ariel, or whatever. They're always shite. They're always really bad. Don't bother making remakes.
I don't want this third remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Bloody Factory.
No. Well, sorry, but
the third one.
No, I mean the original one was the best by far. You know.
Oh yeah, that's what I grew up on. It was magical, that film, as a kid.
What's the actor who played
Jane Wilder? Jane Wilder.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Fantastic film.
Lovely film. Really nice film.
Beautiful. As a kid, it was very powerful and touching.
Yeah.
You know, but they just fucking remake. I can't.
They remade most of them are like the Time Machine. They remade that. That was terrible.
I quite like that.
Did you? Oh no, it wasn't. What with Guy Pearce? Guy Pearce.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought I will. In its defence, you can shoot me down it, but it did give you more scope,
right,
than the original.
Next
it
week,
opened up another dimension.
Next week we'll review Time Machine.
Which one? The original?
No, we haven't done the remake.
All right, I'm on for that.
All right, well, let's sign off. We'll sign off. We'll go to Focus of the Week, and then next week we'll do it. But we'll be right back. But we've got Skype. We've got to reset it. So we'll be back in a minute. Right.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi
Focus of the Week.
Right, we're back. So this week we are reviewing a film from 1958. And it's a film, it says this article is about a 1958 film for the 1988 remake, The Blob. There's another information about that. This is The Blob, an independent American science fiction horror film directed by Irvin Yearworth and written by Kay Lineker. It stars Steve McQueen in his very first feature film, leading role, and Anita Corsault as co-stars Earl Rowe, Olim Howland. The film concerns a carnivorous amobodilor alien, I can't pronounce that word, that crashes to Earth from outer space. Inside a meteorite landing near the small communities of Phoenixville, Downingtown and Pennsylvania, it envelops living beings, growing larger, becoming redder in color and more aggressive, eventually becoming larger than a building. And then it sort of goes on about what happens in the film. So, I know you've only just seen the remake, but the remake is exactly the same movie as this one, basically. It's just that, you know, it was just, you know, the kids in the film, the original were 50s kids, and the kids in the 80s film were 80s kids. So, when did you first see the original The Blob movie?
I saw it as a kid on the BBC.
Did you? Okay. All these films on the BBC, weren't they, in the back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah. I watched it on BBC, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think of it?
It was alright. It was like a giant bin liner with running about. I mean, it's pretty bad, isn't it, really? But it's a young Steve McQueen who was in that film driving around in a car all the time that made him really cool.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen, I forgot what the film called now.
Bullet.
Bullet, that's it. And with Steve McQueen back in
Steve
the day.
McQueen was great back in the day.
He was like the super cool dude. Yeah, how he dressed, everything about him, his watch, he was like a style icon back in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
And I suppose that was probably his first film he did, or
it was. It says that it was his very first movie he ever did.
Well, fair enough. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you?
And he was a leading role in the film as well. He actually had a great start.
Well, I saw Jack Nicholson on Dr. Kildare as a porter.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
That'd
he's
be
just a
interesting.
porter. You've got Richard Chamberlain as Dr. Kildare. Bringing the medical stuff in, So there you go. You got to start somewhere. These people started somewhere, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Steve McQueen, he was cool.
Gene Hackman was in an episode of The Invaders.
Brilliant.
Do you remember Gene Hackman in The Invaders?
Yes, he was. Yes,
And I think it was one of his early roles as well.
Yeah, with the
It was.
plants where they were growing them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were bloody good in that.
He was.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone. So, obviously, it's not the original. I like the fact that it's got a B movie premise, but I think for what they did, it actually came out quite well. It looks quite good from that era because you get a lot of really cheesy movies from that era, but this one looked quite good.
After watching remake of at weekends, it's like The Thing, isn't it? It's like The Thing. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
The Thing. You've seen the 50s one, haven't you? It is good. The original one is good, but the remake and like the Blob remake, they added a lot more to it, more background.
I would say that the Thing remake from '81 is so much better than the original, the Thing from Another World from the 1950s. But
so is the Blob 1988 is better than it.
Yeah, no, but I know. I think the '58 version actually is relatively sound. It's a lot better than the Thing's original movie. I just think that I don't know. To me, I think it holds up quite well compared to other films in that era. But like I said, when you think of the Thing, the original movie, that was really hard to. It was just a man walking along with a, sort of like.
Yeah, it was.
Whereas the Blob.
They tried with this, didn't they? I mean, they tried with special effects and that. And the concept is it's like. Go down that path of that type of film. The Blob is the forefather of all them films.
It is absolutely.
The thing. It's like evolution with David Duchovny. Same thing. This thing comes from outer space, starts evolving.
It also reminds me of.
And it's a slimy mass. It's the same thing.
Also reminds me of the recent. Was it Life, the one with the astronauts on the International Space Station?
That's another version at Blob.
And it was and it gets bigger. It's not quite the same, but it gets bigger and then it becomes more dangerous. It's not a blob, but it starts off and it's
the same concept, isn't it?
So what we're saying is, a lot of people did imitate it, which is always a sign of a good original movie.
I mean, that film you do owe it a lot because originally it was that simple premise of that. And all American era, Steve McQueen with the woman that screams all the time and she's in love with him, the diner, the 1950s, and he figures it out and they meet a scientist and all this and they come up with that it don't like being cold, they catch it and dump it in Antarctic.
Yeah, the way I think it's exactly the same in the '88 one, which you've seen. See, I've seen it the other way around. But it was CO2. It was fire engines had some canisters of CO2 to put out fire, and it was that because it was cold, and you saw that the blob backed away, and that's how they realised that. Then eventually they had a big canister or something, made it explode in a cold. I think it was CO2.
Yeah, snow-making machine.
And it explodes, and it just freezes up, and they say. Yeah. And the way it ends is like, we're going to just drop it off in the North Pole. And I think you see it, a parachute lands in the North Pole with a blob sort of crystallized. And then they say, the end. And then it has this question mark saying, is it the end? And of course, the remake wasn't, it wasn't a remake. It wasn't a continuation, it was just a remake.
Yeah, but the remake, it did have a bit more, like you had the government scientist military there trying to catch it. And apparently they created it. that you've got the insane vicar at the end that caught a few pieces.
That's it.
of
And there was
and
some in it. He has got like a little jar
in a
or
jar,
something.
yeah,
I remember that bit. That was the end. That was the twist.
Well, it's just a horror film, isn't it? Than
Yeah.
original, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. I mean, the 88 is more of a horror movie, whereas the
You've
original is
frozen
more of a
again.
B movie. Am I back? Am I back?
We're having time paradoxes here. We keep freezing in time.
I know.
Yeah.
Apologies, the internet's really playing up my end. I think it's the computer. I'm really going to have to think about getting a different way of recording this in the future because it's really playing up recently and it's getting on my nerves. So I suppose, what else have we got to say about it? Because there's not a lot to say about this film, really. I mean, it's...
But not really. I mean, it's Steve McQueen, isn't it? And falling in love and the American diner and the small town and the monster.
And what do you think about the actual effects themselves? Do you think the original...
I thought the time looked like a giant bin liner with water in it.
Yeah, I suppose it looked like a bit
That's
jelly,
what I
didn't it?
thought. Yeah, when it's in cinema and that, I mean, it was all a bit... Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I don't think it's one of them I'd go back to. I'd probably go back to it every once a decade.
I've not seen it for years. I've not seen it for years.
Last time I saw remake it must have been on VHS. I've not seen it since. I've never really rated it on my radar. I mean, but I did enjoy sort of looking over it this weekend, So it is on YouTube, yeah, it's on YouTube.
Do you think there's a chance of a third version of it, a new remake of it?
No, please, no.
No?
No, we've had so many different versions of it. Like you said, we've had Life, Evolution. There's been Star Trek Next Gen did it with that black thing, Asmos or whatever it was called. That was a blob thing, wasn't it?
Which one? Which one was that?
It's Star Trek Next Generation at first. When Tasha Yar died.
Armus.
Well, he was a blob, wasn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he was, yeah.
Asmos, I believe that's probably part of him that got off the planet, ended up in 1950s America.
Well, actually,
so you were getting a connection now.
No, but
Star Trek.
That black blob, though, I think it's related to the black sort of like oil slick thing from Discovery Season 2, where Saru's race are actually controlled by this other species, and you see one of them.
And I think they're the aliens that they're in the X-Files because of the black goo.
I don't remember that. I've still not seen all of the X-Files yet. I never got into it.
The whole part of conspiracy theory, it's the aliens. There's this black goo, it's like slime. It runs along the floor as a blob, and it goes into your eyes. It's same material. It looks bloody. I mean, this is what I mean. This is where you can start putting all the equivalents. All this because of that one film in 1950s. Yeah, I'm not going to knock it because that film opened the door to loads of other stuff. I'd even say Species was sort of like that.
Was it? And what was the link? What, you mean?
Yeah, well, the third, is it the second one where they go to Mars?
I've only seen the first one.
All right, well, the second one, it's like they go to Mars and this blobby, slimy stuff gets hold of them and changes them.
What about changelings on Star Trek?
Well, they're other part of the family, aren't they?
Yeah, you think of the episode
lot.
where it's on the Defiant and you see it sort of going up into vents and stuff, and it's just like this. Yeah.
Well, maybe the blob's a changeling, but something's gone wrong. He's lost his memory or something.
The blobling, yeah.
The blobling, yeah. I mean, the other cousins that live in the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah.
I mean, it has opened the door to like the blob type monster films, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, like I said, it's the concept itself, though, as you say, it's been sort of reinterpreted so many ways that, as you probably say, they couldn't really make the Blob 2023. I don't think it would work. I don't know.
Don't say that.
I would like to watch it. I would check it out. I would watch it.
I don't know. I just want them to make new things.
They never do, though. They never do. That's the problem, which we've already talked about.
All right, so we got Blob 2023. Right. What would you do with it?
I don't know. I mean, I've got an idea, right? They set it back in the 50s, right? So they do
Oh.
it, but no, let me say, right?
All right.
But they drop it in the
Yeah.
Arctic or something, right? In the 1950s, 2023, there's global warming, and it starts to thaw out.
Actually,
Come
that
on,
is quite.
that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I apologise. I have to agree that is quite a clever, ingenious thing because global warming and it wakes up in
And
Antarctica
it wakes
and it
up, and
starts
that's how
growing
it.
there. Yeah. Your first scene, you've got a penguin hopping along,
Yeah.
and this big slimy arm gets hold of it and absorbs it.
Or you
And
see
it's-
it, you see a big crack where it's thawing out and a part of the iceberg breaks off.
Yeah.
And that's where the remains of the blob is. And then
Yeah.
it starts to thaw.
Yeah, and there's a penguin.
And it absorbs a
Penguin
penguin.
stood there.
Gets
Yeah,
a penguin,
and
yeah.
it just- some feathers going up in there.
And then it's a polar bear or something.
Yeah.
Ah, see? They could do.
And
They
then-
could make.
and
They could
then,
make a direct
obviously-
sequel. They could make a sequel.
Well,
to
good.
that.
But what happens near the iceberg? There's a scientific military team on a warship doing exams out there, doing tests, and it gets on board the warship.
Yeah. They find all these dead penguins or something, and they're
Yeah.
all sort of part of this.
Yeah.
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 So. All right. Well, so lastly, then, out of 10, what would you rate it?
Because of its potential, because of where it's led into. I mean, I'm in and out with the original film,
Yeah.
but
that's fair.
they've ripped off so much from that movie. I'm gonna give it. Drum roll, please.
If I remember, it's in the background.
Okay.
Oh, no promises.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a six as well. Yeah, I think I'll give
that's
it
worth it.
maybe 6.5. But yeah,
Yeah.
around about similar. Yeah, 6.5.
That's because they've ripped it off so many times.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
in some ways though, it's diminished the original because of the remakes, which are better.
Yeah, there are a lot of remakes are far superior.
So, but if that one hadn't existed, then they wouldn't be there in the future to. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 6.5. You know,
Yeah.
so that's all right. But yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, like I said, it's pretty good. So yeah, I'll leave that with you. That's what I was going to show you.
So it's you've disappeared, and now there's a head running about, and
Do you know what that is?
That's what I think it is. Hey, if you get your lawyers onto him, it's him, it's not me.
I've been saving this up the
Fucking
whole
lawyers.
episode. And it green screen. I mean that.
It's
you
got
could be like,
fuck all to do with me.
I've been waiting to do that for half an hour. There you go.
Yeah, I've been reading. I won't mention his name, but I have been reading a certain page on Facebook. And
Oh yeah.
quite-
Hang on, say that bit again, and you're breaking up. Say that again. Oh, it's freezing up again.
There's a page dedicated to him on Facebook, isn't there?
Well, there is an anti. There's an anti page, and I've been doing some funny green screen.
I saw certain. Yeah, I saw them on there. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's been interesting. I can't say on air, but it's been interesting. What I was reading
Yeah.
was quite. I just want my £10 back. Hey, if you're gonna get your lawyers, he's over there.
And then the doctor appears. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so me,
No, it's just a
mate, I'm
gift.
gonna
It's just a
get-
gift. I think it's just a gift. You know, it's fine. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
just.
well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna give him one thing.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I'm gonna give him one positive thing,
What's that?
right? Because when he did that Star Trek thing, right?
You're not even saying the name, are you? Oh, you're not even saying the name of it, are you?
No, I'm not gonna shake him because I don't want his lawyers after me because he shows everybody, doesn't he?
Well,
But,
okay.
I saw that start.
Oh, it's bloody internet. Hang on a
Right,
second. It's freezing. Hang on a second. It's freezing up tonight. Today. Give it a second for it to clear.
Hey,
That's it. Go on.
well, that's a minute show.
Can't hear you, mate. I can hear you, like, it keeps freezing, like. Give me a second.
You can't.
I know, give me a second, right. Right, okay, you're back. Say it one more time, go on.
Right, that 10-minute Star Trek shot he did, I was very impressed with that.
Well, you mean the original one?
Yeah, I can't say it, but the one, you know, that ended up causing a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But he proved what you could do with like 50 grand. He proved what you could do with a cheap budget. And he did. That's the only fucking... And then after that, it's just been a disaster. So...
Yeah, I know. Well, as you say, it's probably best that we don't sort of like have to say too much about this individual. But yeah, not a good situation.
Yeah, you know you are, mate. You know you are, and you owe me a tenner.
He owes me 20. 20. That's 20. 20.
And you never sent the blood.
All right, Martin. I'm going to sign off now because this internet's really buggered today, and we can't go on like this. So we'll get the podcast out in some form. And next week we'll be reviewing the Time Machine remake from about 2008. Is it 2010? Something like that.
Yeah,
Something like that. I'll have to look at that. So Martin, thank you very much. We will see you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Yeah.